December 5, 1945, was a day that began like any other over Fort Lauderdale, Florida, painted with the effortless beauty of a subtropical winter. 5 U.S. Navy Grumman TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, hulking single-engine planes known for their ruggedness, lifted off into the impossibly clear skies. Aboard were 14 men, a mix of seasoned instructors and young trainees, all confident in what was meant to be a routine 3-hour training flight designated Navigation Problem Number 1. The morning sun cast a brilliant golden glow over the tranquil ocean as the planes, collectively known as Flight 19, climbed into their practiced formation. Their engines hummed a powerful, reassuring chorus, ready for a simple exercise involving a triangular course over the Bahamas and back. But soon, the ordinary would fracture and collapse into something terrifyingly inexplicable. The first hint of trouble came subtly. Lieutenant Charles Taylor, the squadron leader and a veteran pilot with thousands of flight hours, began reporting bizarre and unnerving instrument readings. His voice, usually a beacon of calm authority, crackled over the radio with a new, sharp edge of confusion. His compasses were going crazy, spinning uselessly, while the backup instruments inexplicably failed to align. He reported seeing strange cloud formations that seemed unnatural, and worse, the horizon itself appeared to stretch and warp beneath them, blurring the line between sea and sky. His voice trembled slightly as he admitted a profound uncertainty about their position. "Both my compasses are out, and I am trying to find Fort Lauderdale, Florida," he transmitted, his words laced with a growing anxiety. "I am over land, but it's broken. I am sure I'm in the Keys, but I don't know how far down." Other pilots responded, their own confidence rapidly dissolving as the same disorientation crept into their cockpits. Minutes stretched into agonizing hours. The endless shimmering expanse of the Atlantic below seemed indifferent to the escalating panic thousands of feet above. Fuel levels dropped dangerously, and the squadron's final haunting radio transmission would echo through history. "It looks like we are entering white water. We're completely lost. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together." Then, an impenetrable silence claimed Flight 19. The Navy launched one of the largest search and rescue operations in history, dispatching hundreds of planes and ships to scour 250,000 square miles of ocean. The effort was tragically compounded when a PBM Mariner flying boat, sent to search for them with a 13-man crew, also vanished after a reported explosion in midair. Not a single piece of wreckage, not a life raft, not a trace of any of the 27 men was ever found. Scientists and historians speculate a powerful magnetic anomaly, a sudden and violent white squall, or catastrophic human error. Others whisper of time warps, electronic fog, or otherworldly forces. The lost squadron remains one of the most chilling and foundational mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. Ships, too, have been swallowed by the silence, leaving only the chilling whispers of their final, unmanned presence. In 1921, the majestic Carroll A, a 5-masted schooner built for the open sea, was found hard aground on the treacherous Diamond Shoals off the coast of North Carolina. The scene was deeply unsettling. The ship was eerily intact, its sails still set, its cargo of coal untouched. And in the galley, food was laid out as if for a meal that was about to be served. Personal belongings were neatly stowed in the crew's quarters. Yet the entire 11-man crew had disappeared as if plucked from the deck by an invisible hand. The ship's logbook was missing, along with the chronometer and navigation equipment. The only clues were the absence of the lifeboats and a single set of paw prints belonging to the ship's cat. There were no signs of struggle, no evidence of piracy, no rational explanation. Decades earlier, In 1881, the American merchant ship Ellen Austin encountered a mysterious derelict vessel drifting aimlessly in the open sea. Its sails were full, catching the wind perfectly, yet its deck was utterly empty. Intrigued and hoping to claim a prize, the captain of the Ellen Austin placed a handful of his own experienced sailors aboard with instructions to sail it alongside them to port. A sudden squall separated the two ships for 2 days. When the weather cleared, the derelict schooner vanished entirely. Miraculously, it reappeared days later, once again sailing perfectly but completely empty. The replacement crew had vanished just like the original one. Even earlier, in 1840, the French merchant ship Rosalie was discovered drifting near Nassau, its sails flapping in the wind. Its valuable cargo was untouched, its lifeboats were still securely in their davits, and the only living creature aboard was a half-starved canary in a cage. Its crew had been erased from history. Imagine standing on the deck of such a vessel, the wind whipping salt spray across your face, the sun sinking into the vast, indifferent horizon. You call for the crew, for the captain, for anyone at all, but there is no response, not a sound, only the creak of the mast and the endless lonely sea stretching in every direction. Natural disasters, rogue waves, or mutiny might explain some vanishings, yet the sheer, haunting strangeness of these ghost ships suggests forces that lie far beyond our understanding. Even in the modern age of air travel, commercial flights have disappeared as mysteriously and completely as 19th-century naval vessels. On January 30th, 1948, the Star Tiger, a state-of-the-art Avro Tudor IV aircraft, departed the Azores for Bermuda. Aboard were 25 passengers and a highly experienced crew, anticipating a smooth transatlantic journey. The weather was clear, the skies were calm, and the pilot's last radio transmission was a picture of routine professionalism, promising a smooth and on-time arrival. Hours later, there was nothing but static. The plane, a symbol of post-war technological prowess, simply ceased to exist. No mayday call, no wreckage, no oil slick, no bodies. It was as if it had flown through a hole in the sky. Almost exactly a year later, its sister plane, the Star Ariel, flew the same tragic path into oblivion. On January 17, 1949, it took off from Bermuda, bound for Jamaica, under absolutely perfect conditions. The pilot sent several routine check-ins, reporting excellent visibility and smooth flying. His final chilling transmission was cut off mid-sentence. "I am changing frequency too." And then, silence. 20 passengers and crew vanished from the face of the earth. That same year, on December 28th, DC-3, Flight NC-16002, left San Juan, Puerto Rico, for Miami with 32 people aboard, all looking forward to arriving just after midnight. The flight was flawless until its final moments. The pilot radioed the Miami control tower with a calm, clear message. "We are approaching the field. We see the lights of Miami. All is well. We'll stand by for landing instructions." He was only 50 miles out. Then the transmission ended, and the plane vanished from radar screens forever. Imagine sitting in one of these planes, lulled by the steady hum of the engines, watching the clouds drift by below. Suddenly, the cabin lights flicker. The instruments spin wildly, compasses fail, and through the cockpit window, the horizon itself seems to warp and distort. A quiet unease turns to rising panic in the cabin, but nothing can halt the inexorable vanishing act. Explanations range from undiscovered design flaws to sudden weather microbursts, but the Triangle's reputation for consuming entire aircraft without a trace remains as chilling and potent as ever. The immense power of steel and modern engineering has offered no protection from the Triangle's mysterious reach. The USS Cyclops, a colossal 542-foot Navy cargo ship, stands as one of the greatest maritime losses in U.S. history. In March 1918, it sailed from Barbados to Baltimore, carrying a heavy load of manganese ore and 306 men. Despite being equipped with a powerful radio, it sent no distress calls. It simply vanished somewhere in the placid seas, leaving behind no wreckage, no lifeboats, and no survivors. President Woodrow Wilson himself said, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." In February 1963, the Marine Sulphur Queen, a 524-foot tanker converted to carry a unique and dangerous cargo of molten sulfur, disappeared with 39 crew members. It last reported its position as sailing in fine weather, then fell silent. The ensuing search found only a handful of life jackets, a single life ring, and a few small pieces of debris floating on the water, scant evidence for the loss of such a massive vessel. And in 1925, the SS Cotopaxi, a tramp steamer immortalized in modern folklore, radioed a brief, frantic warning during a storm. "Vessel taking on water badly. Can't keep her up much longer." Then it, too, was swallowed by the sea. These vessels, titans of their time, vanished without a coherent explanation, defying the watchful eyes of their experienced crews and the perceived invincibility of their steel hulls and powerful engines. Picture standing on the deck of one of these ships as waves the size of buildings tower over the rails and the wind howls like a banshee. Clouds hang heavy and gray, and the crew shouts orders that are lost in the gale. Instruments beep frantically, alarms blare. But it's all in vain as the ocean claims the ship without resistance, pulling it down into the crushing dark. Could violent storms and rogue waves alone explain these sudden, total disappearances? Or is there something else hidden beneath the waters, silently and patiently drawing ships into oblivion? Even in our hyper-connected modern era, with GPS, satellite communications, and advanced radar, the Triangle continues to assert its enigmatic power. On December 15, 2008, a small Britten-Norman Trislander aircraft with 12 people aboard vanished just minutes after taking off from an island in the Turks and Caicos. The weather was clear, the flight was short, and yet it disappeared without a distress call, triggering a massive search that turned up nothing. In May 2017, a twin-engine Piper Navajo carrying a family of 4, including 2 young children, flew from Puerto Rico to Florida. It was cruising at 24,000 feet on a clear day when it abruptly disappeared from radar. Searchers later found a small debris field, but no sign of the passengers. And in one of the most harrowing modern maritime disasters, the cargo ship El Faro, a massive 790-foot vessel, sailed directly into the path of Hurricane Joaquin in October 2015. On board were 33 crew members and a state-of-the-art navigation system. The ship's voyage data recorder was eventually recovered from the wreckage 15,000 feet underwater. It revealed a terrifying audio log of the captain's fatal overconfidence and the crew's growing terror as the ship lost propulsion and began to be torn apart by the storm. While a hurricane was the clear cause, questions haunt the tragedy. Why did modern navigation and weather forecasting systems fail so catastrophically? Picture the final moments: massive waves crashing over the bridge, storm clouds swirling in a violent vortex, lightning cutting through the sky, and alarms screaming in the flooded cabins. The ocean relentlessly claimed what modern humans believed was protected by technology. From simple biplanes to sophisticated jets, from wooden schooners to steel behemoths, from the distant past to the recent present, the Bermuda Triangle continues to swallow those who cross its mysterious expanse, leaving behind only questions, legends, and a profound, unsettling silence. So what do you think is out there, in that empty space on the map? What secrets does the ocean hold in its darkest depths? Let me know your theory in the comments below.